Everyone, I hope you have had like a very nice week 22. We did a break here in order to have some sessions that for sure are going to enhance your skills, professional skills. And this video is for week 23. We are going to stop with the topic of forecasting and we are going to focus in cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis is a very important topic, especially for those students thinking of applying to the government economic service and other public institutions. They always want to know whether you have at least some like fundamentals of CBA. So let's go to my full desktop and let's start covering the topic. So here we have a cost-benefit analysis. So allow me here the a metaphor. We are trying to choose what is best, and therefore cost benefit is the tool that we use in order to choose our options. Our options do not need to be blindfolded. Okay, so we start as well this introduction to CBA, cost benefit analysis, with this quote from Michael Drummond. It is best to think of the cost benefit approach as a way to organizing thought rather than a substitute for it. Yes? So what is cost-benefit analysis? So cost-benefit analysis is the explicit assessment of benefits and costs. Well, what we are going to do in a nutshell is to calculate the benefits and costs, and that task has certain hurdles. So that is why we have many theories about the issue. We need to calculate the pros, the cons, advantages, disadvantages associated with a particular choice. So the benefits and costs may be monetary or non-monetary. When they are monetary, it's called pecuniary, yes, and the opposite when they are non-monetary, yes. Sometimes these non-monetary costs and benefits are called psychic, but in general, they come as a result of the externalities of any policy, right? The externalities might be cultural, political, or social. Okay, so what else do we have in here? Let me try to change here my pen. I will use the highlighter instead. So for private decisions such as taking Marshall, so anyone will take a cost benefit actually in the reality. So private decisions such as taking martial arts or classes or choosing between two, going to a movie or on Saturday night, we often not aware of any internal process of consideration of cost benefits, but we behave as we do. So an individual in general will choose any action, yes, such as the ones taken here. So for instance, martial art classes, if the benefits are higher than the costs. And this includes as well the cost of opportunities, because sometimes the opportunity costs are too high for martial arts rather than for a nice Saturday night. Yes, the benefits are perceived for every individual in very different ways. So the net benefits, if the benefits are higher than the cost, we can say that the net benefits, yes, the net benefits are simply the benefits minus the costs, and we hope that this is going to be higher than zero. So we have here an example. So John will smoke if the benefits are higher than the costs. Yes, for John, the benefits are going to be, for instance, the taste, oral satisfaction, relaxation, diet control, and improved work performance. The costs are expense, health consequences, value of time spent, discomfort, inconvenience of smoking allowed areas, and disapproval from others. So for the continuous choice of how many cigarettes John will smoke, he will need to choose the number that is going to yield the greatest net benefits. And as you can see, this is actually something that is very rational. I must say that this silly example of cost-benefit analysis in addictive like substances such as cigarettes are not actually very accurate, as rationality is blurred when we are consuming addictive substances. Yes, we just depend on that substance and we just take our decisions with poor rationality. So CBA is most commonly used for public decisions. Yes, so for instance, policy proposals, programs and projects, dams, bridges, traffic cycles, riverfront parks, libraries, drone driving laws, anything else that the government might fund. So CBA can use to rank alternative projects and evaluating the social value of a particular project. What is the social value of a particular project? We have actually here a very nice slide that is showing us that this sector is actually the social value. But in order to calculate this social value, we need to take into account the environmental, the economic, and the social impacts and benefits and costs of the project that we are trying to estimate. So even if cost benefit is not explicit, any decision, public or private, reveals a cost of benefit calculus. Here we have an example actually of a person that got like an accident in his car. And please allow me the metaphor because we are actually here covering the example of Orly and Michael Greenstone using mandated speed limits to measure the value of the statistical life. So this actual article is very interesting, in which is calculating like just valuing the statistical life, obviously because as we increase the speed limits, actually we are trading that with many accidents. So let's see that in the example of that paper, they show that raising the maximum speed limit from 55 to 65 increase the travel speed by 2 miles per hour. Yes, so because people often exceed a posted speed. And this saves 45 million of hours of travel, yes, per year. However, this produces, or this induces 360 deaths more per year, which accounts for 125,000 hours of life. So can we compare these savings in the hours of travel per year with these 125,000 hours of life? That is a very important moral question, guys. I have had discussions about that with other researchers in Facebook. It's very difficult topic, and it obviously creates a lot of animosity. Yes. So how, for instance, in this pandemic, we are going to carry on with the lockdown, with the very serious consequences for the economy, but at the same time, we are sending actually people to die. Yes, I will say that. We are increasing the number of deaths, yes, or inducing the number of deaths by relaxing the lockdown. It's a very difficult moral question, especially when the people who die was or is people that are in poverty or deprived, or their health is, or they are like very senior members of our society, right? And minorities. Anyway, that is the moral situation. So our collective decision to drive faster infers that 45 million hours of travel time is worth 360 deaths. Is that the case? I think everybody will have inside of his chest probably like a very different solution. Some of you will say yes, that is worth it. Some of you will say that is crazy, inhuman to like induce deaths. Every death is valuable. Every life is valuable. So our decisions lead to changes in benefits and costs regardless of whether we make them explicit. In order to calculate these costs and benefits, especially when we do not have with certainty what are going to be in the future, we can use probability. So the expected value of a benefit is, so this is the expected value of a benefit, yes, which is actually the probability of by, yes, the benefit equal to certain amount bi, yes, in times, yes, and we multiply this by bi, yes. Probability of b equal bi is the probability that the benefit is worth certain amount of dollars, yes. So let's see this in one numerical example, as I believe that that is going to be more clear. So we are here actually going over the economic impact of treatment of HIV positive pregnant women and their newborns with CWDine. Yes, I hope that is the right pronunciation. Implications for HIV screening. So this is the paper that has the cost-benefit analysis. So what is the probability of a maternal to fetal transmission when the mother is HIV positive? If there is no treatment, it's huge, 25.5%. However, if we have a treatment with this drug, yes, CWDine, the percentage or the probability of getting that baby infected is 8.3%. So we can infer that as well. We know as well from this data that the lifetime cost of treatment of an infected child from birth is $98,915, almost $100,000. The question is, what are the costs and benefits of using the treatment? Can we calculate it with this information? The answer is yes. So we simply use probabilities. So this is the probability of getting infected without the treatment times the cost of a lifetime infection, and this renders this 25,223 of costs. Yes, and this is the 8% when we actually use the drug, right? And we multiply that for the lifetime treatment, and that will render 8,210. Yes, as a result of that, we can use a subtraction here to get to know what are the net benefits. Yes, so the expected benefits of the treatment are 25,000 minus 8,010, and this equals $17,000. The cost of CWDine treatment is $1,000. So therefore, the expected net benefits are the 17,000 minus the cost of the drug. This equals almost $16,000 per HIV positive pregnant woman. That is what the society will save economically. So if medical expenses are paid privately, the woman will opt for the treatment. Obviously, it's less expensive than a lifetime treatment for that child. So if the child will be on public assistance for medical care, yes, the benefits for the society will be actually, or the decision will be to treat the mother with CWD. So I know that the topic is very controversial because what about if the costs and benefits in the previous example are actually negative? So we will have negative social benefits and probably no policy. We will live, we will let just people to live with like a very serious treatment, a very serious illness for their lifespan, which is obviously something that is very difficult to decide. Right? Okay. So the public policy objective, the theory of cost and benefit analysis. The objective for the public policy is this: to choose the level of output of a good or service to maximize the net social benefits. Yes, so that is what we are trying to do, maximize the net social benefits. And this is done by subtracting the total social benefits minus the total social costs. So here we have what is everything here on that equation. The marginal social benefit is what happens if we have an additional social benefits from one more unit of output. Yes, so what happened, what is that a social benefit when we carry on incrementing in one that unit of output for that particular policy. In the same manner, the marginal social costs are the additional costs for producing one more unit of that output. Yes, in general, these MSB and MSC can be calculated with with derivatives. So we make the derivative of the total social benefits in our previous slide, the derivative with using the derivative of one more unit of output, which is Q, the quantity of a public provided goods and service. As a conclusion, guys, the net, and I think this is the main point of this slide, is that the net social benefits are optimal when the marginal social benefits equal the marginal social costs. And therefore, we know that we can actually find an optimum in order to take an economic decision. So the social decision rule is to choose the quantity for which the marginal social benefits equal the marginal social costs. Another topic that I would like to explain during this lecture video is the present value. We need to calculate the future and as well the present benefits and costs in our analysis. So costs and benefits in the future are worth less than the costs and benefits today. That's why we need to use a discount rate because it's not the same to receive 100 today than receiving 100 in 12 months. Yes, so if I ask you, would you prefer to receive 100 today or 100 in 12 months? You will say give them today because obviously it's better. And how do you do that calculation? You use a discount rate. Yes, that discount rate can be, for instance, a credit in the bank that you have. So you will prefer to use the money today to pay back your credit card. So economic agents and society as a whole will maximize the present value of expected net benefits. And that is what we are going to do with present value. Costs and benefits may occur over very different periods of time. Yes, so if we have a dam, yes, during the initial period of the project, but benefits will be coming over the lifetime of the dam. Yes, so the cost for the dam built today may be spent primarily during the initial period of the project. But as we have future cash flows, we need to bring these future cash flows to the present in order to have a project that is going to render very nice or very positive net social benefits. So to account for all costs and benefits in the same units across time of periods of time, we calculate the net present value of the benefits. So this is present value. This is net benefits. This is net benefits. This is the discount rate. And this is time. So in general, the idea is that we are using here the cash flows in time, and we are discounting them, yes, in order to arrive to the net present value. So an example of the previous equation is 100 invested today at an annual interest rate of 4% will be 104 in year one. Yes, so the present value of this 104 divided by 1 plus r to t, yes, when this is 4% and this equals 1 is equal to 100. You can make the calculations and check that that is okay, yes. You will note that this is why we are using this formula, and it is an example. The present value of 100 for next year, when the discount rate is 4%, is then 100. That is 104 tomorrow is worth 100 today. This is the same formula. The only difference is that here we do not have t, or we are assuming that t is equals to 1, because we are in this exercise we are taking into account only 1 year, right? So the exponential is 1, which implies that we can just stop writing it. So the problem here then is what discount rate we should use. The RR is the rate of discount of the future consumption or rate of time preference. The higher the discount, a social discount rate, the higher the social value of consumption today relative to consumption, meaning that the higher rate is going to produce a lower net present value. One example of this is the conventional use of treasury bills. With the treasury bills, we know that it's conventional to use 3 to 5% of the treasury bill interest rates, which are, by the way, at this moment of our life, very close to 0%. Yes, for many countries, since it represents the cost of borrowing virtually at no risk. Yes. However, I must say that this is a good example because actually this week, the week commencing on the 1st of March 2021, we have seen the yields increasing. As a result, the stock has lost value, and I believe that many assets in general will lose value, especially things such as Tesla, such as Bitcoin, things that are very risky. Obviously, when yields increase, then the present value decreased more, yes, decreased a lot. So the yields have been increasing because of inflation expectations. I'm going to denote that by P to the E. Right, so the results can be sensitive to the discount rate chosen. Yes, that is a big problem choosing the discount rate is actually like a very important decision, because if you use a wrong discount rate or a manipulated rate, so you might arrive to a solution in which the certain public policy is erroneously chosen. So researchers often conduct a sensitivity analysis to see how sensitive the results are to changes in assumptions such as the discount rates and costs and benefits. And guys, with this, I finish this set of slides. Thank you very much for seeing the end of this video. And I hope that we are going to be able to cover more practical examples about this during the next sessions. This is Cam Calderon, and I hope to see you soon.